Probably the best series right now in the playoffs. That's the Clippers versus the Mavericks. It's tied at 2-2. Game 5 is tonight, probably the most pivotal game in the entire series. And I'm going to come to you, Toni, first, because you had some criticism of one player when it comes to this entire series, and that is playoff P, Paul George.
George Paul,
bro. Sean Paul. George Paul.
Brother.
Sean Paul. It's not Paul George, bro.
It's not Paul George. It's Sean Paul, bro.
Sean Paul.
Curious George.
What is happening with Paul George and this Clipper team right now that they're struggling to get past this Mavs team?
Well, where can I start? Loads of people were telling me about playoff P, that playoff P is a thing. Maybe it was a thing in OKC. I don't know, but
it was
right
OKC,
now.
It was definitely.
He was getting killed by
days.
Joe Ingles.
Indiana days.
It was when he was playing with Ian Mahimi and them man.
When he had the Lakers coach Frank Vogel. Just remember that, innit?
Listen, I haven't seen George Paul, Sean Paul, Pandemic P. I haven't seen him play in a while, bro. But right now, listen, he was averaging 21 and a half points in the regular season. And then during the playoffs, he's now averaging 15.3. He's getting outscored by people like Seth Curry, not Steph, Seth Curry. And he's only shooting, 27% right now? This is the number 2 guy on the Clippers team. And right now, even though Porzingis is out for Game 5, I believe, if the Clippers are going to win this series, they really need to step up. They really need playoff P, pandemic P to step up. Because right now, he needs to go from George Paul to Paul George because he is playing shambolic. And fair enough, what's been going on is that he hasn't been shooting well. And it happens. We're all human. But even on D as well, it's even now on D, he just doesn't look good. I don't know what it is. And he's icing his shoulder. I honestly feel like after, Game 2 or I think Game 2, when he was just icing his shoulder, something happened. Nothing happened, bro. It's one of them ones, when you're playing football and you do a mistake, so you want to pretend that you're injured. And you're just nah, man. He's fine. And honestly, right now, I don't see what's going on with Paul George. And the Clippers are in trouble. Now, the reason I'm going to say the Clippers are in trouble because if they don't act up, right now, Luka Doncic, I was telling you, man, this guy's generational, bro. He's the truth. Luka Doncic is a serious guy. And
he's the best right now since thing.
Yeah, probably right now, he's the best out there. And honestly, I feel like the way, because they're so lucky, the Clippers are so lucky that Porzingis is out. That they're missing the number 2
They're so lucky he's been out for basically half the series.
They're so lucky because if he was in the series, that's because Luka's putting up triple doubles for fun, and unlike Russell Westbrook, he's actually putting up efficient triple doubles.
They mean something. They mean
not
something.
Triple doubles that Steven Adams busting in. But honestly, right now, Game 5 is always pivotal. You either go up 3-2, you go up 3-2, or you finish 4-1 at the end of the day with Game 5. So right now, I really feel like this game it's going to be huge tonight because we really need to see if Luka's going to pan these again. Because remember, the Mavs had one of the best offenses in the NBA.
They've got the best offensive rating in NBA history.
Bro, so this is an historic team right now. Let's not cap right now. PG, Sean Paul, George Paul really needs to pattern up. I don't know what else to say. He really needs to pattern up because if they do, listen, if the Clippers go out first round, this is gonna be crazy. Now I'm not gonna say let's listen. I'm not saying that the Clippers are still expected to win because they have a deeper bench. They still have one of the best players in the league in Kawhi Leonard, and they still got a really good team and a really good coach. But right now, this is a good series, and I wouldn't put it past Luka to make this series go to 7 or even maybe sneak the series. Who knows? But we'll find out with Game 5 tonight. If the Mavs win Game 5...
Shout me. Porzingis to come back in Game 6? Shout me.
Honestly, if the Mavs win Game 5 tonight and Porzingis is back, we're going to talk about the Clippers, man. We're going to put the Clippers on the line. No, we're going to put Paul George on the line.
But the thing is, it won't happen.
Okay.
It's not
it won't happen.
It won't happen.
Bro,
it's possible. Listen. This is if the Mavs needed a good chance to win this game 5, bro, you've got Paul George playing bad right now. It's a bubble. It's a scrimmage game. It's anyone's game. You've got a historic offense. Why not? Why can't they win game 5? Like, obviously, you've got a very good team in the Clippers, but who knows, bro? We'll see tonight anyway. We'll see tonight with Pandemic being what he does.
See, like, on that, though, like, I remember when I said that the Dallas Mavericks would lose in 7, and everyone looked at me like, oh, you're giving these guys 3 games. And I said to you, it's because Luka Doncic went from playing as an all-star to an MVP. And he's come and he's carried that through the playoffs. The only thing I look at the Dallas Mavericks is the way they won that last game, that will never happen again. Like, the Clippers got stupid and they got a bit complacent. They were up really early in the second, I want to say. And then the Mavs on that run, the Mavs then choked the lead, which I know Skip Bayless was saying it as well. Like, they actually are known for choking a lot of their leads, and then they hit a shot that normally would never go in. So that's my only worry on the Dallas Mavericks: the fact that it took a miracle shot for them to save them really going 3-1. Now, but in reality, they should be 3-1 up. Like, they should have closed out the first game. That was a book.
But game one, Porzingis got kicked out for.
Yeah, Porzingis' ejection was bullshit. Really, game 3 is hurt.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you really look at it, I think the Dallas Mavericks overall have probably been the better team. I just think
100%.
Are they good enough to, when it gets down to it? I know they managed to win game 4 when they really needed to. It was a miracle shot anyway. Can they win a tight game where the pressure is on you for the entire series? And I just think that's where the LA Clippers are probably better suited, because they have Kawhi Leonard. And I think today's the day where Paul George just plays that game. I think today's going to be...
My thing is, this is what you need to remember, yeah. Like, even forgetting the game that's going on today, yeah, I want to talk about game 4, yeah, and like pointing out that, fam, if we're going to hold Kawhi to the standards and say, there's some people who say he's the best in the league, obviously KD out and all of that. LeBron's still hands down the best in the league, but there's guys who say Kawhi's the best in the league. Bro, let's not forget Kawhi missed the shot to try and win the game before it went to overtime. So he missed that shot, he bricked that shot. And then the final play, I don't care what Doc Rivers' play is. You tell Doc Rivers that I'm guarding Doncic on the final play of the game.
Reggie Jackson.
Doc Rivers tried to come out and say the play was for Reggie Jackson to be on Doncic, but either you're mad, or either Doc Rivers is mad, or he's just trying to save face. Because really and truly, you ensure that even if there's a switch that happens, Paul George is on him. Because obviously, as much as Paul George is playing so bad, he's also at the Clippers for his defensive ability, the ability to defend. Him and Kawhi are arguably 2 of the best defensive wings. I think it's the best wing partnership I've seen since Michael and Pippen, fam. Like, that's how powerful these men are. So, like, forgetting Paul George, because I know that Toni can take him away, like tear him into pieces. I don't need to tear Paul George into pieces. Fam, Kawhi has to take responsibility being that main guy. Yes, he's playing well, but you want him to be the guy. Take games by the scruff of the neck. Tell Doncic that, bro, chill. This is your first playoffs. Like, I am the guy who runs the league, kind of thing. Like, people have gotten to LeBron for not taking on the challenge, not being able to rise to the occasion. Fam, Kawhi needs to be able to settle this series down. And what I'm expecting to see is game 5, Kawhi, Paul George take over the series and make it like a 4-2, a comfortable way they win game 5 and game 6. Because, fam, at the end of the day, the Clippers can't go out. And I think you'd be a fool to bet against them, to think that the Mavs would win. I still think the Clippers are too deep, too strong. Look at Lou Will. He dropped, 36?
Yes.
And Paul George dropped, 12? So if Paul George had a decent game, they would have won that game. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's like, fam, all I'll say is, Luka Doncic is the truth. He's definitely gonna be winning multiple rings, in my opinion. He's got that clutch gene in him, and I think he's developing it. But as far as today goes, or as the series goes, I just think the Clippers really need to like settle down with their arrogance and just deal with this series, innit?
This is all karma. This is all karma for when Paul George was laughing at Damian Lillard, all of them and the back and forth. Because the thing is, he said, I'm at the Clippers, I'm going to be able to do this. And now he is the one that's looking bad. Because at the end of the day, he thought he was going to ride off Kawhi's wave and they're just going to easily do their thing. No, you've come up against a great player in Luka Doncic. And to be honest, I think it's going to be a bit Disney Channel-y. Doncic is going to show the great player that he is. They're going to say, we respect you, we respect what you've done. You're going to be great for the next few years. But this is Clippers series. They're still going to win it, like, without a doubt. Because at the end of the day, they still have a great team, the Clippers do. With Paul George, it's just exposed him. It's just shown he needs to earn the number 2 rating. He can't just come in, I'm just number 2 guy. In my opinion, for now, Lou Will can be the number 2 guy. Like, Paul George has to earn his way back up because you can't have 3 bad games in a row. You can have one and then maybe another one another time, but not 3 bad games in a row. So he's kind of showing his inexperience in being a proper leader and being one of the main guys because it's been a long time since that Pacers team. So I feel there's no way that I just don't see any way that the Mavericks can do it. But Doncic has proven his stake. He's proven how he's going to be an incredible player for years to come. And I think that's the best thing that this Mavericks team could have done.
Okay. And Kojo, what about you? Do you agree that the Clippers will see out the next 2 games, or is this going to 7? Kojo?
If the Clippers improve their defense, because
Yeah, I think you go on.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Wait, we'll just shoot that bit again.
All right, just cut a bit up in that.
Yeah, that's fine. So just shoot your thing.
I think the Clippers are the favourites to win the series still. I feel like their defense has been non-existent, especially in Game 4. What day is it today? Wednesday? What is it? Tuesday, so Sunday. Yeah. For them to allow 135 points is completely unacceptable. And they're known for having good defense. And this is what Chris Porzingis, so that was even shocking. And they had to go overtime as well. I feel like with the Mavs, they've been the better team throughout the series. Game 1, they should have won because I think they were leading by at least 7 points before Porzingis got ejected. Game 2, they were the better team. They leveled the series. Game 3 was kind of a bit of an off game because Clippers were kind of control, which you expect. You know what I'm saying? It's going to go back and forth. And then of course Sunday's game, it was a tight game. They really should have won that because the Clippers were led by double digits. Yeah. Toni used 2 points by the end of the first half. So they really should have won that. But just Luka Doncic's brilliance, playing on a sore ankle, bro. Like, come on, sore ankle. And he's dropped 40. He dropped a triple-double against the Clippers team. That's actually
43,
shocking.
17,
and that just shows
13.
It's mad. And for me, like, Paul George needs to step up in the defense. I feel like, like you said, Dan. That's your name, right? Dan, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dan, yeah. Like you said, he's also known for being a great defensive wing player, and that's what the Clippers brought him in for. He hasn't really done that so far in this series, and that's where the main concern for Paul George is. He hasn't stepped up at all. And he hasn't been a great player since these days at Indiana. Now, he needs to do much better. I feel like if he did much better defensively and contribute more offensively, the Clippers would easily have won that game. So the Clippers to win this series, it relies on Paul George's excellence, both on the defensive end and on the offensive end. For me, if the Mavs is back for Game 6, him without Porzingis still, like, I would even make a statement. I would even make a statement that Mavs win today and they get Porzingis for Game 6, that this could be easily done for the Clippers. That they could actually suffer a first-round exit. And that's going to be crazy. That's going to be, like, literally immense. But again, I'll still right now say the Clippers are the favourites just because of, their depth, their versatility on the defensive end and just their coaching. But, the Mavs have done a really good job so far. And even if they lose this series, no matter what, I think they've really shown that this team's exciting. Luka Doncic is probably the best white player in the NBA since Larry Bird. Let's not even cap, and he's going to be a generational talent. And this is very good series so far.
Kukoc has entered the chat.
Nah, F Kukoc. I'm talking about do we count Jason Kidd? Do we count Steve Nash?
Jason Kidd's
okay.
It's a bit.
Jason
Jason
gives mixed race.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
No,
but what about Steve Nash?
Yeah.
But it is
Steve Nash.
Luka.
No. He's He's not better than
you know
Doncic.
what
He's
is
not
it?
better than Doncic.
Back-to-back MVP.
Yeah, Steve.
Respect Steve Nash though.
No.
Steve Nash was a
Nobody.
baller. He does respect. He was a baller. Do you know what I mean? Like, he had the league in assists, I think, a couple of seasons. Yeah, he's a good player. Like, he's legend in the game. But what Luka's showing right now and his trajectory and his potential, if he goes along the right path, unless he doesn't get hit with injuries and so on, he's going to at least win, let's say, 2 to 3 titles. Whether it's going to move Dallas, which it can be done because you've got Porzingis, which he can become a generational talent. Like, he's a very good tier 2 type of player. He's still got a higher ceiling. I just feel like maybe he needs to kind of come off that Enquiries injury. We'll see that hopefully into next season. And if he can get his great defensive form that he showed at the Knicks, this Mavs team can be serious. And if they can add another type of defensive piece to their team for the future seasons, they can be a serious team.
The defensive piece is literally the last thing because they're so offense orientated, bro. But this team, sky's the limit, man. I can't lie to you.